10th chapter, text 7.
Okay, 7, 10, 7.
Oh, there was some subject announced. I should speak about. I was not aware of that. There was some subject announced. I should speak about that.
I don't think so. I really don't know. I just don't.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Is there a microphone? Is it possible to put it?
I don't have a too strong voice, but
because this fan and everything creates a little bit sound, so that's.
I mean, it's probably okay for the room here.
I hope they will bring it in.
Anyway, in the meanwhile, we can
Okay, now it's better. Okay.
read as an introduction. This is actually from 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is coming closely to the celebrated appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev. And as we know, it's a long story, wonderful book, in detail describing appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev. Actually, it never happened in my life, but this week I will have 3 Nrsimha Chaturdasi appearance days of Lord Nrsimhadev. One I had here, another one in Pula, and tomorrow I have the last one in Zagreb. So it's nice, it gives another opportunity to speak about Lord Nrsimhadev. But today, I would like just to read one shloka from the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj offered to Lord Nrsimhadev after his appearance. As we know, Lord Nrsimhadev is the most ferocious form of Krishna. Nobody, even his own consort Lakshmi Devi, always repeatedly appearing with him in various incarnations. She said, I never saw him like that. He looks really angry. So ultimately all the assembled demigods and all the devotees, and they said, well, Prahlad Maharaj, he appeared because of you. You talk to him. Because it looked like he cannot be pacified. You know, he was so angry that his devotee got so offended. So the little Prahlad, little boy, had no problem. He knew, this is Krishna, this is my Supreme Lord. So he came forward with the cow and the and this is wonderfully described. The Nrsimhadev saw him, his whole mane and his anger just disappeared. He became like a little cat, very nice. And he put his paw on Prahlad's head. And he said, my dear Prahlad, don't worry. After all the incredible persecution Prahlad had to face, he said, don't worry, I'm here. Now everything will be okay. I will take care of you. Don't worry, everything is fine. I remember hearing this from Srila Prabhupada first time. Exactly this. I was sitting in a car with 4 other brahmacharis, ready to go out and distribute books in a very hostile and inimical Germany. So they didn't try to poison us or throw us from the rock or kill us like Prahlad, but they were close, it was close. So, and I remember looking back, we were all young boys. We were all crying. Prabhupada's voice was so pacifying. Just imagine, you know, you come from some terrible situation and then you come like home. I don't want to get too personal, but you will find in Srikvanica, in your home, there is a sign standing there. Home is a feeling. It's not a place, really. Isn't it? Yeah? There's a sign there. maybe it was not intended when it was put there, but it's actually very spiritual. Because home in Krishna consciousness is not a physical place. It's actually a Krishna conscious feeling. No, I'm not evoking some sentimentality. But we know from practical experience, even in this world, when you come to a place, you are no more threatened. And you feel safe, safety. That's what it is. That's the home. Yeah. So home is, it's a feeling, it's not a physical. Physical places can change. I have a practical experience of, oh boy, living in so many places, moving through so many houses. But when the tenants of the house move out, or the people I knew, they move out, the house becomes like a body without a soul. It just becomes an empty place. Like this used to be some place. Now it's used for Krishna. It takes another shape. But one day it can very soon become again just a place. You know. So that kind of feeling was Prahlad had. And Nishingadev told him, this is now, you are at home, you are with me. This is where a devotee of the Lord is at home, because he feels connected to Krishna. That's his home. So Prahlad is, Nishingadev tested him. He said, Prahlad, I came. You see, I killed the biggest demon. I can give you whatever you want. Ask for a blessing. I can make you to a king of all three worlds, means heavenly planets, Mediterranean planets, and lower planets. I can give you anything you want. Just ask. You are my devotee, I can give you. And Prahlad smiled. He said, well, my dear Lord, are you testing me or what? I saw my father having that, but you are offering me now. Look how it ended. First of all, he wasn't very happy, and second of all, he is dead. So why should I desire the same? There's a beautiful shlokas where Prahlad is establishing the ultimate state of pure Krishna consciousness. It's unconditional, unmotivated in material sense, everlasting. It cannot be destroyed by anything. It's not relating to this body. So that's beautiful. This seven candoism, I mean, if you would read only that, no other book from Prabhupada, everything is here. The whole philosophy, Bhagavad Gita, everything is here packaged into this book. So, and then Prahlad Maharaj comes to something very deep. We are all conscious, we are aware of that. Yeah. We sit here, and we are somewhat conscious. Some kind of consciousness. There are different kinds of consciousness. Some people even, they come here and fall asleep. You know, that's possible. You know, they are tired and relaxed. They think this is a very peaceful place, you know. The philosophy very nice, so I relax and they fall asleep. But still the consciousness is somewhere there. If you know how the consciousness is woken, where you wake up somebody by sound. You don't have to even touch the person. You go, wake up! And he just by sound. Well, that's the process of Krishna consciousness. We are waking up by spiritual sound, is remembering our forgotten spiritual identity. That's actually the process. So, Prahlad Maharaj is smiling and telling Shingadev, are you testing me or what? No. I don't want any material benefit. I don't want any material blessing. I don't want anything of the sort. I just want to remain your servant life after life. Because that includes everything. Whatever I need, that's what it is. But there is still something which we don't know. It's a dangerous thing. Consciousness is consisting actually from three elements. Thinking, you all think something. Feeling, you all feel something. And then the worst comes, desire. And we may be, I think anybody sitting here in a certain age already experience what a desire can do to you. You know, you desire something so much and actually you find out this was exactly that thing which gave me so much trouble. How can you want something which gives you so much trouble? You can. Because desire has no brain. There's no intelligence involved. It's just a feeling, a desire. I don't want to become too specific. I can quote one elder lady who told me, falling in love should be forbidden by police. It was a joke. But, people say, oh, it's so nice, look romantic, huh? They never see the end of it. It can turn reasonably good. It can also turn very bad. I think all ladies know. So feeling, and what a feeling that is. It's not just for ladies. I saw men falling in love, devotees falling in love. Oh boy, I lost friends even like that. Because it was my friend, so I told him, be careful. This may turn out to be bad. He stopped speaking to me immediately. Because it's described in Bhagavatam, the first symptom of lust, you become very merciless. No compassion. The desire is so strong, you go just, I want that. And whoever comes and disturbs that, out. Finished. That's lust. I have some friends like this. They never came back. Even they suffered actually. Unfortunately, I was right. I didn't like that I was right, but unfortunately I was right. Just recently, one of my friends, he came back. He told me, you know what? You were right. I was amazed. I deeply appreciated that kind of humility. That actually, because men have a very heavy, especially men, a really false ego. Yeah. Okay, I lost the war, but it was a good war. Yeah. You know. And people repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again because of desire. So Prabhupada Maharaj is saying, oh my Lord, the best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from you, Lordship, that within the core of my heart there will be no material desires. And Srila Prabhupada explains, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us how to pray for benediction from the Lord. He said, Madanamna Janamna Sundarim Kavitam Jagadish Kamae Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavadhan Bhakti Rahaitu Kitvai. Oh my Lord, I do not want from you any amount of wealth, nor many followers, not a beautiful wife, for these are all materialistic desires. But if I have to ask you any benediction, I pray that in whatever forms of life I may take my birth, under any circumstances, I will not be bereft of your transcendental devotion and service. It can be noted that Lord Chaitanya is not praying even for being saved. He goes birth after birth. That's amazing. Devotees are always on the positive platform in contrast to the Mayavadis who want to make everything impersonal or void. One cannot remain void or shunyavadi Rather, one must possess something. Therefore, the devotee on the positive side wants to possess something, and this possession is very nicely described by Prahlad Maharaj, who says, if I must take some benediction from you, I pray within the core of my heart, there may be no material desires. The desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not at all material. So this is the ultimate benediction devotee gets. But Krishna is very careful and very liberal. There is another play of Prahlad Maharaj. He said, and just in case you discover I have some material desire, which I don't know, it's coming up, don't fulfill it. Frustrate me. It's quite contrary prayer, Because when you go see even religious people, when they go to church or whatever, what do they do praying for? Enjoyment. Give us daily bread and forgive us our sins. Great. So God is a supreme baker. He always makes bread. And He forgives you everything. You can do any nonsense you want. A good deal, isn't it? Prabhupada called it openly cheating religions. You want to make a deal with God. And God may appreciate, Krishna says, whoever comes to me, however motivated, he comes to me. So he will deal with you. He will respond. But usually according to your desire. And Krishna consciousness in that sense, being presented by pure devotee, by Srila Prabhupada, is not a movement which facilitates material desires. I met very rich people in my life who tried to become Krishna conscious and who had a really heavy realization. He said, well, the more Krishna conscious I become, the more in trouble I get on a material platform. What is this? George Harrison, one of the Beatles, he told me, when I have so many friends, everybody's my friend. Oh, Beatles, George Harrison, ooh. But as when I join Hare Krishna, I don't have many friends. Just some devotees. So, this is showing that there was actually some seriousness. Now I don't want to go in detail what happened to him. He had many material desires. And it's very dangerous when you get so much money. You can make things. I don't want to get in detail, but George Harrison like gardening. You think, oh, that's nice. People make some earth and they put some nice plants. No. With his money, he was reshaping whole landscapes. He said, I would like to have a hill here. A whole army of bulldozers came and there was a hill. He said, but next to the hill there should be a lake. The whole army of bulldozers came, there was a lake. He had a huge castle he was living in. With his wife. Two people, big castle. Finally a man came in despite all the security and practically killed him. His wife saved him. Because she came, it was at night, she came running out of the kitchen and she hit the guy with the knife so badly on the head that he had to run away. But, how can this happen to a devotee? Somebody was chanting Hare Krishna, respecting Srila Prabhupada. How can this happen? Because Krishna said, okay, now we get rid of the material desires. Okay? Yeah? In case of George Harrison, it was racing cars and alcohol. Two things. Sometimes, they were all hashish, hippies. So, Krishna, if he takes you seriously, watch out. But Krishna is not cruel. He always gives what we can take, carefully, gradually. That word gradually, Prabhupada. And for those who are detached, Krishna is not seeing any reason why they should be bereft of everything. Can you imagine? He tells to Arjuna, you fight this battle, become victorious and enjoy your kingdom. It's like invitation to material desire. What is this? Enjoy your kingdom. What do you mean? That's exactly what Arjuna didn't want to do. Then what kind of enjoyment after the battle? Everybody is dead. What kind of enjoyment will be that? And Krishna said, that's wrong consideration. There was many other reasons Krishna wanted Arjuna to fight, but Krishna doesn't mind that we have some opulence, not at all. Personally, I appreciate, I could almost call it admire, people who come to Krishna consciousness from a materially well-to-do background and they try to become Krishna conscious. That's not very common. One of the reasons our preaching centers are always quite empty. Not so many people come. You know why? There's only one reason. Because it's too nice out there for them. They think, yeah, maybe Krishna, yeah, but I'm still okay. I'm okay. Krishna is okay. Maybe pious person will say Krishna is okay. But I was okay. There would be not, I believe personally, there would be not so many bhaktas and devotees coming to this movement in the 60s and 70s if there wouldn't be a Vietnam War. Because you were facing the choice, I become devotee or I go to Vietnam. Well, you know, it's better to sit in a temple and eat gulab jamuns than to fight in some jungle, you know, and get killed, obviously. So Prabhupada used that. He said, I would like to say today in a lecture that now I am recognized as the official leader of the official recognized religion in America, and whoever joins us doesn't have to go to Vietnam. He used that. But these things are changing, of course. But unfortunately, very unfortunately, for many, most, if not most of the people, the amount of pain has to reach a certain level that they become serious about spiritual life. Only very intelligent people, they approach Krishna consciousness in a level of intelligence. First of all, they know that whatever was given to me, it was given to me. Second of all, can be also taken away. There are examples, many examples of that. And what is actually the real essence of life? There's something missing. I have facilities I could enjoy, there's something missing. I really appreciate such a people because I'm coming from a generation, including myself, of a completely penniless people who dropped from the street into the temple hungry. That's the generation I come from. You know. But Prabhupada said, what I saw, many of my disciples could become very capable people. If taking the material part, they could become educated, they could be very skillful in their way. They could actually become very, prominent in a society. I met devotees like that. Also, not so many. But there are devotees you could say, oh, if he would be in a society, he would be like I give you an example of the devotee who was instrumental to produce these books. You know him. Yeah. All the Croatian books are produced by the North European Bhaktivedanta Book Trust branch. I know the chief. He's living in Sweden. Yeah. Extremely materially qualified person. If you would take all the expertise he has, I remember one devotee, he brought to him as a demonstration computer program. And he offered that if this Bhaktivedanta Book Trust will use it or buy it from him, it could be very useful for book production. And while he was showing the computer to this devotee, he was like, and he said, not a very good program. And he said, How could you open it? It was coded. There was a code word to it. How could you open this? And he looked at him like, are you crazy? So simple. I mean, the man can break anything. He's a hacker. He can break into anything he wants. Probably Pentagon, I don't know. You know, he can read anything. So with such expertise, you can become a very rich man in the material society. But obviously, he has a special lifestyle, I have to say. But obviously, he's not tempted in this way, and he's not enthused to, you know. Yeah, not at all. So, this is the real intelligence. And Krishna consciousness is so wonderful. It doesn't depend on the social status, it doesn't depend on the financial status, it doesn't. It's actually measured by the absence of material desires. Sometimes simple devotees, they go, he's in Maya. He's living quite luxuriously. No. Because they don't see. That was the position he was put in by his karma, you could say. But he's not attached. Whereby a real small devotee, or let's say simple, he can get very attached to something small. So who is more advanced? It's the attachment, level of attachment, which defines the advancement of the devotee. And it will be tested. The more you chant Hare Krishna, the more you are serious, you will be tested. I remember one devotee being suffering from attachment. Krishna just destroyed it in front of his eyes.
So
I remember one devotee, Krishna destroyed it in front of his eyes. But in the very early days when I joined, there was a devotee, he joined with a car, which was special those days. Wow. Everybody joined with nothing. So he joined with a car. So they were all very nice. We can use a car in a temple. You were going, no. To some degree he was right, because Hare Krishna is ruining car very fast, sorry. But he saw it. So we're going, no, I'm the driver, this is my car. And the devotees were going, this is attachment, material desires. You know, yeah. So, I won't go now in detail what it means to free people from material desires. It doesn't mean that you take something away from them and then you destroy it. That's not a very good example, okay? Not very good. No wonder they don't give anything more. Because they think, I gave this and it was destroyed. Shall I give more? You should give everything to Krishna. Really? That will be everything destroyed or what? So, that's just a side point, okay? So, you know what happened to him? He drove on a highway, fell asleep, the car went over the highway, spinned around in an open field many times. He survived. He had just few bruises, but the car was completely finished. So much for the car. So it can happen. Krishna has a plan for everybody. The amazing thing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is capable to relate to all us individually. Sometimes altruistic people, and they say, I love everybody, and I would like to help you, and you, and you, and you. And you see them helping nobody actually. Because actually it turns out to be quite impersonal. You know. But this is very abusive, because we are all persons. We are all individual parts of God, and God is capable to relate to us individually. His pure devotee is assuming the same quality. You cannot imagine what it was to meet Srila Prabhupada. You felt like you just departed yesterday. First time, I remember seeing Srila Prabhupada first time in the middle of the airport. You know, he arrived in Germany, it's a long story, but he arrived in Germany, that was his second visit in Germany, 1974. And I was just there. I was 2 years already in Krishna consciousness, distributing books, and I had my car, a driver, and so we are all rushing towards the airport. Prabhupada is coming, but I had the misfortune to be a driver. So everybody jumped out of the car and ran to welcome Prabhupada, and I had to park the car. You know, along with 12 others, we had a whole army of cars by that time. So distributing books, being day and night on the street. I remember this airport. We parked the car next to each other, and it was Germany, you know. I'm not a German, but it was German management. All car next to each other. White Volkswagen. And all cars had that big, there's photos from that time, the big sign on that border, Hare Krishna. And every car had a stick with a flag. You could pull out of the window, like a army, you know. So Prabhupada arrived and I came. That was the first time I saw him, too late. He was just finishing. They arranged a VIP room on airport with Vyasa-san. They made a Guru Puja there, washed his feet, and he gave a short lecture. Unfortunately, the only recording available is a film from that. It's stored in the archives of the anti-sect movement in Germany. Some of the devotees try to get to it. Anyway. So, and then Prabhupada just got up. He was just about to get up, and it was the first time I saw him. I had exactly that feeling of Prahlad Maharaj. Now I am here, and everything is fine. Don't worry, it will be okay. You cannot imagine the feeling of safety you had in front of Srila Prabhupada. He was not. I mean, I saw him first time. And of course, I saw his books and his pictures and everything, but his presence was so unbelievable. Everybody in his presence just became ecstatic. Why? Because all the fear and all the, all fell away from you. I first time in my life experienced a total state of fearlessness. You cannot imagine, because even now, we are sitting here, and we are a little fears. What happens tomorrow? And what about if this happened? And what about if that happened? In front of Prabhupada, nothing mattered. He was here, I'm his eternal servant, everything is fine. I mean, and then you become ecstatic. The ecstasy was so big. So I was just crying, sitting there on the floor, seeing him first time, and then everybody got up. And he was going to the exit. It was a quite long way to go from the VIP lounge, through the airport, that you go to the gates. It was like at least 200 devotees there. So they didn't care for some airport anymore. I remember the German security guards came with the walkie-talkies and they were like, 200 devotees are rolling over them. It was just ecstatic kirtan. And Prabhupada was in the middle, because we didn't want to walk behind him, everybody wanted to see him. So they blocked the whole hallway like this, and they were just like a tsunami rolling through the airport towards the exit. And then before the police and everybody could organize themselves, we were already on. And they were yelling at me, "Get the car! Get the car!" I had to run to the parking house, it was next to the airport, and the car was up on the top floor parked along with the other cars. So it was just a race up to the car because we had an agreement. There was a big white Mercedes standing in front of the airport, and the driver, his name was Achetya, he was told to drive very slowly. And so we can all catch up with him, all the cars, line up behind Prabhupada, lights on, flashing with flags out, German style. So, you know. And Prabhupada did something quite amazing. Usually he was sitting in the back of the car. But at that moment he was sitting in front like this. And Chaitanya soon realized, oh my God, how do I put the fourth gear in? Is Prabhupada's knee here? So he was like, oh! You know, and he drove quite slowly. So we ran up, and it was an old-fashioned style, not like today. There was not some automat, and there was a man sitting down there, and you could drive the spiral down, and then, you know, you had to pay, and then you open the gate. But can you imagine 10 or 11 cars racing the spiral down? We were all expert drivers. So we knew when you lock the wheel and you go full blast, you know, squeaking tires, 11 cars going down the spiral. The man was alarmed. He thought, oh, something horrible happened. Some emergency, what it is. So he just opened. He didn't pay, nothing. We just dashed out one car after another out of the parking lot. And then we were looking for the white Mercedes, basically. And then we found him. We lined up. Prabhupada must have seen that in the back mirror, you know, this 11 white Mercedes, you know. And we drove to the temple, which was a rented castle. We drove something like 40 minutes highway, and then you come down from highway, you have to drive through some few small villages. How they did that, I don't know. But they had an arrangement, there was no mobile phone. They had an arrangement that there was a big van with amplification on top. And that van drove like with 5 minutes, 4 minutes distance before Prabhupada through the small villages with full blast bhajan going on, Prabhupada singing. So what happened was that, you know, people all went to the window, what's going on here? And as they were all in the windows, a few minutes later, Prabhupada came with the white Mercedes with this 11 of these white cars behind. You cannot imagine the atmosphere. In Germany, they all hated us basically. They were all confused. But they were all ecstatic. They were all in the windows just... And Prabhupada was with the beatbag and was like... Amazing atmosphere. And then, oh boy, I could tell you the whole... It's like a movie for me, you know, and every time I start with that, it just rolls up. What is the background of all that ecstasy? Absolutely zero material desires. Nobody had intention or plan to get something from Prabhupada or to derive some material benefit. That was the movement I joined. When I joined ISKCON, the only thing you got was a place on the floor to sleep. That's prasadam. That was always there. And then the whole day service. Hello. That's it. You know, that's what you got. We were all ecstatic. I remember us being so happy we couldn't sleep. We were lying there on the floor, 10 brahmacharis. We couldn't sleep, we were so happy. It was like, oh my Kichai! They're so thrilled, you know, and so feeling so nice. That's in essence what Krishna consciousness can do for you. Even in the midst of the most materially difficult circumstances, one can become ecstatic by losing material expectations. That doesn't mean to become negligent. That was also sometimes wrongly interpreted. That Krishna consciousness is only for the poor ones, and you give up, you throw it away, just give it up, it's Maya. That's Mayavadi. I just heard a lecture on the way here from Prabhupada, where he heavily attacks that. This kind of pseudo-renunciation spirit. You know, yeah. He said, how can we renounce anything what can be used for Krishna? This is offensive. How can you say this is all illusion out there? Prabhupada said, I'm right now speaking to the microphone. That's real. You are real. this temple is real. Otherwise, what are we doing here? I didn't say it's all illusion out there. I said the attempt to enjoy it forever, that's what the illusion is. So illusion can be found on the level of material desires. That's what the illusion is. And when you don't have it, then you come to reality. And suddenly everything becomes very interesting. You start to see the nature around you, just imagine. And Prabhupada said, that's our only goal, to see everything connected to Krishna. There's nothing what actually Krishna didn't create. Either permanent or temporary, it doesn't matter, but it's all coming from him anyway. So this is Krishna consciousness. And it is difficult because we forgot Krishna for so many lifetimes. So we are always on the way go, oh, this is mine. But everybody says, no, this is Krishna's. I am using it. And Krishna is very benevolent. He goes, yeah, please, like we offer, prasadam to Krishna. We offer bhoga to Krishna. Becomes prasadam. But the same. It comes out from the altar the same. You are lucky you are not living with Lord Chaitanya, because when he visited his mother, even as a sannyasi he did that, because she was devastated to see him. She always cooked, of course. She cooked for her son again. And whatever she offered, there was nothing coming back, because he really disappeared. He really ate it, even physically. But it was just a special occasion. Otherwise, Krishna can do anything with any of his senses, so he's eating just by glancing over it. And we evoke, Krishna, please, can you offer it to him? And then it comes out as it is, and then we can eat. Enjoy. Prabhupada said, yeah. One devotee asked him, but it's stated in the scriptures we should enjoy prasadam only when invited by the spiritual master. Prabhupada said, so far I am concerned, you are always invited. So the problem was solved immediately. So this Krishna is very benevolent. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need absolutely anything. He's Atmarama, he is self-satisfied. But one thing he doesn't have is our willingness and our determination to get freed from material desires. He's just waiting. And then when people say, I want to get free from material desires, I surrender now. Krishna is in the heart. He knows how serious you are. So he goes, oh, it's a good idea, but you don't even know how many material desires you have. It's collected through lifetimes and lifetimes. And this body in itself is nothing else. It's a product of our material desires. That's the reason we got it. There are so many different desires. You have to be more active, more passionate. Oh, you can be born in the Balkan countries. Welcome. Just the way how people drive here now on the weekend, motorbikes or cars, is a testimony of that passion. There's a speed limit. Passion. For nothing. For absolutely no reason. I always think how many boys kill themselves on these bikes on the weekend here in Croatia. Italy is even worse. They have their Moto Guzzis, In Italy, when you drive a car, you have to look, there's another one coming, You think, why? They go, it's a thrill. Yeah, it's a thrill to die, yeah, sure. Motorbike is a wonderful way to die. There's no protection, nothing. You are like, Prabhupada compared them to mosquitoes from the sound, Prabhupada said the next lifetime they all become mosquitoes. And what does mosquito do? It's nothing. Just thank you very much. That was the mosquito. No, completely. It doesn't have any means to defend itself. It's not very solid, you know. So our bodies are like that. I know even motorbikers who told me that most of the motorbikes should not be on the roads. They should be in some racing. If you want to kill yourself, do it somewhere on a field, but not in a public traffic. You know. So anyway, this is just an example. Material desires. That's one place. And if you want to be enjoying your material desires without doing anything, just imagining something. The mind, my God, what you can imagine there. You can imagine, yes, I am there. Even Sigmund Freud said, you know, all that sex life and everything is mainly in the mind. The physical side, not so much. Human form of life, not so much. Pigeons, monkeys, they can have sex life like anything. In comparison to humans, not so much. But the mind, sorry, the mind. Wow, wow, imagining things. Wow. Yeah. So if you want something like this, just wow, in the mind. Scandinavia is a very good place for that. It's dark most of the time. You know, nobody there. So you can just sit and think, oh yeah, I'm enjoying. Yeah, me. And nobody is disturbing me. Why? Because nobody is here. That's pleasure. And then you become next lifetime a tree. They're all just standing there, not much talking going on, you know. That's it. Oh, I know different places. I can recommend if you want to be born next lifetime for this purpose, there's a place for it. For everything, for everybody. There's a place and there's a body which is nothing else as a result of material desires. We came to the material world because of that. Now somebody can say, how is it possible to have material desires? We fell down from the spiritual world. Spiritual world is such a pure place that even a tinge of some sort of condition we develop is already the cause of our way down. Because we are eternally individual souls, so we always have a choice. Of course, the first thing is not that in the spiritual world somebody goes, I have enough today, I'm not serving Krishna anymore. Enough of this. Day and night here serving Krishna. What is this? No, it's not that gross. It's just already when you put a condition, how you want to serve Krishna. That's enough already. No, I will serve Krishna, but I would like to serve Krishna. Something special. Something big for Krishna. Then Krishna goes, okay, you can become a Brahma. Creator of a universe. What do you think about that? You think, oh, I can serve you like this? It's a good idea. Yeah, but once you are in the material universe, and even you are in charge, you get all involved. So it's so dangerous to leave the spiritual field. And it's very difficult. It's easy to come down. We know that from the material world. We have a stasi in front. It's easy to come down. You just lose balance and keep on rolling. And then you will be down very fast. But to come up, a bit more struggle. It's always like that. Spiritual life is also like that. To fall in Maya, very easy. It's like a slide. You just don't make any resistance anymore. You just surrender to Maya. Do with me whatever you want. And Maya goes, sure, and you are right away in trouble. But to come up and not only to join, but to maintain your Krishna consciousness, that takes a conscious endeavor. Prabhupada gave two conditions: sincerity and determination. These two things. he even says, when you have these two qualities, you are already initiated into the process. The ultimate initiation is just a formality. But it's important, of course, yeah, it's like the confirmation. But if you don't bring these two qualities, determination and sincerity, which ultimately will produce patience, because you are determined, so you don't allow yourself to be discouraged, then actually we are connected to the process, and it is the process which will gradually free us of material desires. We have such a wonderful way to do it in Krishna consciousness. It's not for fanatics, you know. I mean, I joined, I was 18. I had nothing. No career, no money, no nothing. Yeah, one girlfriend. She said, it's going to be the monks or me. I was going, yeah, the monks are more long term for sure. There was no hope. I knew there's no hope in that line. And it's not because even today I say, if that woman is still alive, if I would meet that woman, I will apologize for following actually her call. It was not my initiative, it was her initiative. She was desperate, a lone girl. And me, the pathetic savior, right on the scene. I don't want to go more in detail, but I knew this is not going to fly. This will be these pathetic savior actions, sometimes they are very short term, you know. Because as soon as things get better, then everybody goes their own way again. That's usually how it is in the material world. So I knew. But the devotees, I knew from the first moment, oh, this is serious. I was scared. I was thinking, can I be that serious? But then I thought, if I don't do that, I will cheat myself and the others the rest of my life. That I knew when I joined. I will pretend to be somebody. And they will force me to pretend to be somebody. There's a game out there, you know. It's like we have here the opera in front of the door, but actually the whole Rijeka is one big opera. You know, I was distributing one winter here books. Rijeka in the winter is funny. It's one of the few places you can go out in winter on the street and they have still flowers in the park, you know. And the rest of the Europe is covered by snow. It's ice cold, it's cold rain, it's disgusting. But in Rijeka, that marathon was quite nice. It was quite cool. And I met ladies. They were heavy winter coats, you know, with fur, like it's in the middle of winter. Why? Well, because it's winter. That's the fashion. You have to dress like this. You know, somebody told them that a nice lady looks like that in winter. And these poor women were just, you know, walking like polar bears around, and it was plus 10 degrees or plus 15 degrees. I was going, oh, it's a joke. That's how you manipulate people. You tell them it's winter, you look like that. I don't want to go more in detail how pathetic it can get. Even as before I joined this movement, I never joined this instinctively. I didn't have even the money to be actually really enjoying winter. You know what you need for that? A huge pile of equipment. You need a brand new ski, brand new skateboard, you need this helmet, you need this glasses, you need this jacket and this. Before you start to enjoy, you know, the winter, you spend a few thousand euros. And then what you do? Stand on a piece of wood and glide down the hill. Hopefully don't break a new leg or something like that. I never found sense in this. I was going, why are they doing this? Just to get up the hill, you have to pay for it too, you know. And then in a few minutes you are down there and you have to pay again. I was going, why are they doing this? I mean, I can walk through a snow-covered landscape, but again, how do I enjoy such a landscape? I cannot sit down. I cannot lay down. I will freeze to death immediately. But people still manage to do that. So determined. I was in the winter in the Alps and it was enjoyable. What did you do? Well, I was gliding down the hill just with 5,000 other people. Banging into each other, and there are sometimes serious accidents, crashing into each other, whatever. In summer, it's not much better. Everywhere you go, everywhere people congregate to enjoy, it becomes like hell. And as a devotee, you can sit anywhere. Today I was chanting in Ishwarana's garden there in the back, and there was just beautiful flowers everywhere and the sunshine, and I was going, I'm really enjoying here. And because I chant very loud, I was going, I hope the neighbors are enjoying too. But the neighbor was nice. He came out and he was going, with his 2 dogs, and he obviously was trained that there will be some people sometimes walking around chanting loud. So, this is enjoyment. I'm enjoying it right now. Damn, I'm enjoying this. Oof. First of all, I'm not old, sick and dead. I'm old, but not sick and dead. That's a luxury. And second of all, you are here, I'm here, you can talk about Krishna. It's beautiful for me. I just happy you enjoy. I could do this until midnight, but I will not do that. There is so much in Krishna consciousness we can simply enjoy because there's no expectations. I don't have the expectation that I have to achieve something here. Even in a spiritual sense, you must all become in Krishna consciousness. I have no power, there's nothing of this. I'm just happy you came here to listen to something about Prabhupada, about Krishna, because I also want to listen about Prabhupada and Krishna. When I'm talking about Prabhupada and Krishna, it's not just you who is listening, I'm listening too. Remembering Krishna, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. And this is the purpose of this movement. We can do it in a park, we can do it here, we can do it everywhere. It's Ahitukiya Pratyata. This process cannot be stopped and is not conditioned by any material circumstance. It's such a beautiful thing. Can do it anywhere. You don't need any help. One devotee in India, after it was in a stage of establishing the Bombay temple, the Mumbai temple, it was very difficult. And he was walking the whole day trying to get some permission, papers in India. It's all corrupt and it's terrible and it's hard. And he didn't achieve much. So he came in the evening and completely depressed in the temple. Prabhupada was just giving lecture. And he saw him. Prabhupada was totally aware of everybody and the service he did. Even small service, Prabhupada never forgot. So the devotee came in the door and he was sitting there in a corner lecture, completely finished. And then suddenly he hears Prabhupada saying, and in Krishna consciousness, we have to be always ecstatic. And then he looked exactly in his direction, he said, even when the authorities don't give any permission. And the devotee was immediately ecstatic. He said, he understands what I went through. That's nature of Krishna. You don't need any permission for that. You really don't need any permission except Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his pure devotee to become ecstatic in Krishna consciousness. Or happy. At least happy. So this is so amazing. People say, why all this austerity? Why the 4 regularity principles? Well, I already said this, I think even here, how much trouble you get out of this not 4 regularity principle. It's just trouble. So we just give up trouble, that's all. But we couldn't do it if he wouldn't have a positive alternative to it. And just in case there's a frustrated monk, frustrated nun, so then they can marry. It's amazing. Yeah. And when they marry, don't worry, they will find out on their own what that means. Especially when you do it seriously. Prabhupada said responsibly, dutifully. Or you will find out. It's a process on its own. And again, Krishna is for everybody, you know. I know devotees who are by now married for 30 years. They joined Krishna consciousness as monks. But very few, I have to say, very few. But I know devotees like that. At the end, by the end of the day, I mean after 30 years, you know, romantics and all this, that's all romantics. You know, it's just two bodies parked next to each other, sorry. But the person as such, there's a deeper, they came to the level of a deeper appreciation. Hey, there's a devotee here. That's important. One is packaged as a woman, another as a man. That's, by the end of the day, after you went through all this, you know, it's a detail actually. What remains is, it's a devotee. So there's actually atmosphere of respect and mutual assistance. There's appreciation. That's stabilized on that level. Then there's no problem. There's no, you know, like expectation of a heightened sense gratification. There you must be crazy. You know. Yeah. Sometimes I see old pensioners going to Croatia expecting heightened sense gratification. Come on. They are lucky they don't end up in a local hospital. Too much sun, you know, bad diet. Shouldn't eat that. You know, that's how they get in trouble, because they came here to expect heightened sense gratification. You could also sit at home and be more peaceful. The life becomes like that. At the end, you are just thinking, oh, my wife, oh, she's still alive, yeah. And the wife goes, yeah, I know this guy. So, you know, and what is the exchange? Exchange of chanting, prasadam, and, if possible, joining together some preaching. That would be very nice. That's a very nice thing. When they ask me, what is your vision for the future in Krishna consciousness? Well, I could say a few things, but it's just my vision. But Prabhupada wanted something like that. He wanted us to live and die in Krishna consciousness, and that includes everything. My vision is that the old Vanaprastha couples are coming up with their wheelchairs in a shopping street. Haribo, Haribo, you know. Why not? Maybe he's still walking, so he's pushing, she's distributing. I mean, it's impressive, you know. Once, there was a young devotee, a bhakta. He's, by the way, living in Croatia now. He had some problem with the leg or something else. There was some problem, he couldn't walk. So he got a wheelchair. But he wanted to go distributing books. He's a special man. He's living in Darwan. Total street man. He used to head home on the street. You put him on the street, he's at home. You know? That's where I found him. I found him on the street. And so we got a wheelchair for him. It was in Copenhagen, in Denmark. I got a wheelchair for him, and I just pushed the wheelchair. He was distributing. Oh, pretty good, you know. You come with a wheelchair, you can go, excuse me, you know, and then people go, oh, there's a man in a wheelchair, well, you cannot be so cruel and not to stop. And then he was very good with, excuse me, I cannot walk now, but this is a very nice book, you know, and he's very good in communicating with people. And at the end he was getting, this was for 10 days or something like this. Then he got better. He didn't want to get out of that wheelchair. So I told him, I'm not pushing anymore, you drive yourself. So he was like, hello. People all stopped. There's a man in a wheelchair coming, you know. And he was distributing. The only problem was at the end he could walk. So he just flopped the wheelchair together and went home. And some people saw it. So I was not so good. I told him, no more wheelchair. You know, this is cheating. So, but you can use anything for Krishna. Even your invalidity you can use for Krishna. Anything can be used. This is the beauty. Some questions or points to this around there? Not too much. Comments? Some comments?
I remember you said when you first time met Prabhupada that you had this complete sense of fearlessness. So sometimes when I distribute Prabhupada's books, when I associate with him with the books, then I guess we have the same feeling. Can you compare to the same feeling?
Yeah. This is not monopolized. I'm a little bit allergic to that when people come, that this is like, oh, Prabhupada disciples, what happened when they all die? From spiritual point of view, nothing. Prabhupada is still here. He is available to everybody who is touching the process, who is getting connected. Especially by dint of book distribution, but in any form of devotional service. As soon you get connected, then you get the same feeling. I saw people changing in Krishna consciousness completely miraculously. One bhakta in Germany, I used to take new people on the street, you know. And when they introduced me again, oh, we have a new bhakta here, take him out, train him on Gopal Stewart. I look at him, I was going, oh no. He looked really like mama's boy. You know. He had this luxurious mohair jumper from mama. And he was Hare Krishna. I was going, oh boy, how can I take him out? But there was no chance. Everybody had to go out. So he was sitting in a car, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I remember I took him to an empty parking place. I had special places for the new ones. Not so pushy like shopping street. And people came with the cars one after another. It was more peaceful. I explained to him the basic thing, introduction to book distribution. Okay, I can do this with anybody. Anybody can distribute books, by the way. You know, anybody. If he follows what I will tell him. Because they all do the same mistake in the beginning. It's very simple. It's actually so simple that people cannot do that. I don't want to now turn the whole thing into a seminar for book distribution, but I tell you it's simple. The only question I cannot do, once again we are on the subject, is the desire. Do you want to do that or not? That I cannot change. But if somebody wants to do that, no problem. Anybody can do this. So I showed him the basic thing, and he was like, because just to stop somebody is for somebody like this who comes from a very sheltered domestic environment, very difficult. I was like that. I never contacted people before I came to Krishna consciousness. Never. I was sitting at home, speculating and creating art or whatever. I hated people. Yeah. And then they threw me into this. But I didn't get the training. I was just thrown into it. So I was aware, this is not everybody can survive that. So I introduced them to, in a nice way, try to look in the eyes. Hello. And don't just speak. There's no need much of speaking. Just give it to them. Like this. Everybody basically who you meet has two hands. They are hanging down like this. So you aim for this area here. Like this. You see? And you will see the hand comes up. And then give it up the book. And then he was standing there with the book in the hand. And you will stand opposite to him. Smile. Even you don't feel like that. Smile. Look in his eyes. And what shall I say? He said, you like to read books? Something simple. Because these people on the street, they are very simple. And they didn't went on the street to buy a book. They have other things to do. So don't waste time. Simple. Book. Here, for you. I showed it sometimes. They were standing next to me. There was a man coming, hello. You know, look in his eyes. Hello. Do you like to read? And he said, what is it? It's the book. Yeah, I agree on that. You always keep them on the positive side. So they must agree. It's a book, yeah. He goes, what is inside? It's a paper. Lots of paper. You like to read books? Anyway, there's various things to say if you want to go. His name is Gonita. He is living in Daruvar. He has a beautiful place how to address people. He goes on the street and he goes, oh, this is only for intelligent people. This book. How could I find you? You are so intelligent. People get, me? Well, probably it's true, yeah, I'm very intelligent. I mean, he's developing even methods, unbelievable, spontaneously. Krishna gives him intelligence. Can you imagine the man distributes on a train station? I give you an example. On a train station, which everybody waiting, when is the train coming? And he stands there, and there is an announcement. In Sweden it's like that. There's a, I don't know in Croatia, but probably everywhere nowadays. The train is coming in 5 minutes. So the man stands there, he goes to the man and he goes, excuse me, you look very intelligent. This is a special book. It's only for intelligent people. So you can take the book. And the man goes, no, I have no time. But he goes, but you have still 4.5 minutes time on the board. That's true. The man cannot defeat that. And the beauty is, the man cannot go anywhere because he's waiting for his train. He's locked in. And then he goes, and he goes, very nice. And then you hear the train coming. And the man goes, yeah, okay, how much does it cost? And he goes, and he has a beautiful mother. He goes, just give from your heart. I want to stop now. Just give from your heart. This is heavy thing to say. People saying, oh, from the heart, oh my heart, oh my God, I have to give from the heart. And then he gives him a book. The man goes on a train, that's it. It's amazing. This shy boy, when I drove him after 1 week of this, back to the temple, you know what he did? He came in a temple. Devotees were just taking prasadam. He was going, Gauranga! And they look at me and said, what did you do to him? I said, nothing. He was just distributing books. Became one of the most powerful devotees in Germany. So this is just examples. What can happen when you get connected? You should not allow yourself being intimidated by Maya. No, you cannot do that. Well, who is me to say you cannot do that? Maybe Krishna has a different opinion. Why to limit Krishna to the fact that I say I cannot do that? But give him a chance. Krishna can do amazing things with everybody. Amazing things. And he has a plan for everybody. And of course we take assistance. That's the reason we accept spiritual master. while we expect that kind of assistance. If you cannot get that assistance, it's pretty useless. I have to say openly. It's a practice. It's not just like being registered, you know. No. There should be some assistance. Or you go to the doctor because you expect some medicine and some treatment. Tradition is a very gross example, but you expect some feedback. I never wrote Prabhupada a letter. I was happy with my service. I said I'm doing the right thing on the right time, on the right point. Why should I ask him? But I felt on Tuesday. Well, that will change on Wednesday. Why should I bother him with something like this? But Prabhupada wrote me a letter. My authority came to Vrindavan, Prabhupada Vrindavan. He said, yeah, we have in Germany a boy, Manidhar and Rohini Sutta. They just broke the ISKCON record, distributing 501 and 502 books in 1 week. Prabhupada just said, bring me a paper. And they brought this aerogram was called. This is actually a paper, A4 size, which you write on it and you fold it together and becomes simultaneously an envelope. So that letter I got. I have it until today. Simply thanking us for the books, encouraging. There's not much more to say because Prabhupada knew we are parked, we are doing the right thing at the right time. And he knew when we go out there on the street, we get our purification every day. I'm not saying this is like everybody must do that. I don't say that. Everybody has his way how to get purified. Nowadays we have devotees coming from so much different backgrounds. When I came, everybody came from the same background. Drug addicted, confused youngsters, many of them already with criminal record. That was the Bhakta. And the Bhaktis were not so much different, sorry. Prabhupada was, just imagine him, girls in Krishna consciousness. Come on, the lady came yesterday in Texas down from the horse, put the gun in a corner and joined Hare Krishna movement. What do you expect? You know, they were like, I joined, Mataji, you can come, but leave the gun at home, okay? That was the preaching in America. Germany was not that much different. Heavy ladies who were just like, So what do you do with that? Preaching. Prabhupada put everything into the preaching field. And that's, we got purified. In the kirtan chanting, same ecstasy for everyone. Prabhupada ki jai.
What would you say? What have we done wrong that so few people stayed actually?
Huh?
What have we done wrong when so few people stayed and survived?
Stayed?
Yeah.
Remain.
I don't have any statistics about that, but I don't have much problem with that. You know why? I never perceived Hare Krishna movement being too big. Those who are actually pushing it, there were always very few. Many came, many left. Prabhupada said it about his own movement, the same thing. In India it happens even more. Many come, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. They even help you in India, it's common. They help you to build a temple. When they think, I have done my thing, I collected my pious plus points, bye-bye. It can happen. So when you study Prabhupada correspondence and all this, and his way of management, he was dealing with very limited group of people. Very few who actually stayed, pushed on already those days. And then why after his departure you don't see all of these personalities being fully involved with ISKCON, to say it in a simple way. There's various reasons for that. I don't think it's no need to. There are various reasons. I could put a whole catalog of this together. They felt not encouraged. They felt not recognized. They felt not understood. All these things that we're getting from Prabhupada, they couldn't find it again. So they withdrew. Many died already. And some demonstrated that they were not so serious. No. They got tempted by going this direction, that direction. Whatever. They didn't find. But it's centered, if you see a devotee deviating, it's always centered around the same platform. Material desires. That's all. There's no other. There's still something I want to be, something I have to fulfill. This is all what it is. It boils down to simple thing, material desires. And they can be many, but different. Now people don't like it when they hear it, especially those who feel affected by that kind of speech, because they feel like exposed. But scientifically spoken, that's actually what it is. Looking back in my life, whatever pain I experienced, even you could say in the same way, like my God brothers or God sisters, still the question is, what if that pain was still based on my material desires? Or was I pained purely that Prabhupada's mission is not maintained and conducted in the way it should? That's a question I have to ask myself every day. Yeah, I feel pain too, yeah, I do. I still feel pain. But because Prabhupada gave us such a wonderful and simple way to associate with each other, to conduct our lives. But it boils down, Prabhupada already was dealing with that problem all the time. In his presence it was happening. He said, he is too opinionated. He developed a word for this. That means distinction. I have my opinion, how Krishna consciousness should look like or be broadcasted or whatever. There may be different opinions, but somewhere we should come to the same platform on the basis of Prabhupada instruction. So, yeah, but that's what it is. I can do nothing about it. Just try to somewhat remain the last remaining days of my life in some kind of decent shape. So I don't embarrass Srila Prabhupada. Because if I would do something really stupid, they would say, just another Prabhupada disciple. Yeah. That's an offense towards my spiritual master. I'm embarrassing him. I got obliged, When people say Prabhupada disciple, I always say, I hope so. I have a concept what Prabhupada disciple is, coming from him. The word disciple is, I don't know, in Croatian, in Czech it wouldn't work. But it's derived from discipline.
It's working in Croatian.
It works? Yeah, it works in Croatian. So with no discipline, no disciple. Sorry. It's just a name. You know how many Prabhupada initiated, like 4,000 disciples. Before he left, there was already, many was gone. He didn't like that. He was complaining. He said, why are you recommending these people? They are leaving again. They are not serious. By the time ISKCON had 350 devotees, Prabhupada said, we have enough. Let's boil the milk and go for the quality. Can you imagine? 300 people, and he was spreading a worldwide movement. That's a challenge. It's a challenge. But we shouldn't be discouraged. Just try to be qualified. qualify ourselves for all that mercy we got and the incredible chance how to become Krishna conscious. One devotee, he got this in Prabhupada's presence. He said, Prabhupada, I cannot believe it. It's such an amazing philosophy. It's such a huge volume of philosophy and knowledge coming down on us. But the process is so simple. You made it so simple for us. Prabhupada smiled and he said, oh, Chaitanya is very merciful. He made it very simple. But it's simple, but I never said it's easy. Because it's difficult to be simple. They are so complicated, so many material desires. When you listen to Prabhupada, it's just cutting through all this and coming up with a simple solution. So beautiful. I mean, nobody before him did that. And there's a way how to complicate your life again. You can study it. This Veda, that Veda, coming up with this and that, and this and that and that. This, another seminar. How to become complicated in Krishna consciousness. Did you study this seminar? Yeah, I was there. It was very complicated. But they gave me a diploma. You studied this very complicated seminar. I had a diploma at home, I put to look. So, what is the conclusion? No, there was no really conclusion. I'm becoming more and more learned. You know? Are you learned? I'm becoming more learned. Who is the most learned one here? See, I am the most learned. By the way, that there are a few 100,000 people going to hell right away in Rijeka, that's not very important. The important thing is that I become learned. And I'm chanting. I'm researching the effects of the holy name. Do you feel the ecstasy sinking in? Do you feel it? Once they tried this on me. And I said, you know what I feel right now? I have to go to the toilet. I mean, I'm honest, that's what I feel right now. You ask me what I feel, that's what I'm telling you. That's a little bit too gross, but this I just see the photos of these kind of meetings, I go, my God, these people have no fun, you know. Do you feel Krishna inside? You chant, Hare, and then the leader goes, stop! Now comes Krishna. They go, it's like orchestrated kirtan, you know. Look, I come from a musical background, that's what the dirigent does. And the orchestra is playing something wrong, he goes, stop! Then he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they go, you want to have a kirtan like this? No wonder everybody is so miserable. Oh, I could go for hours on this. I mean, this is where this movement went to. Orchestrated, you know, milking of the holy name. They try to squeeze some ecstasy. No serving holy name. No. Extraction of the holy name. By the way, the entrance fee for the festival is quite high, you know. Doesn't come for free. Holy name is not for free. You pay here. There's a cashier here. Oh, I could go forever. It's upsetting actually to see this. Did Prabhupada ever did something like this? No. And this is a little thing which I can conclude this whole thing. It's a little test. If you don't want to get cheated, ask yourself simple question. Did Prabhupada ever did such a thing? Did it happen in his presence, something like this? And you will very often find out, no, it didn't. Did Prabhupada conduct kirtan, Hare, right? Now comes Krishna, repeat. No. I feel like in the Wild West, the guy was, dance. Of course you will dance, you are shooting on your feet. So this orchestrated, commanded kirtans like this. I think, my God, what did they did to the holy name, This esoteric milking of the holy name, this grief. And you know where it ends up? Here. It's just in the head. It never enters the heart. Because after that kind of session, you're chanting and tasting the holy name. Well, I know sometimes what the end of the sessions are. My daughter tells me that she's 25 years old when they come together and melt the holy name. What the result is? Well, let's hope the girls don't get pregnant. That's the result. Whoever joins the sessions, especially being female, be careful. There's a guys coming around, they have tattoos, Radha, Krishna, they have 20 neck beads, like these women in Africa, They have kavacha, size of this Bernardiner dogs in Switzerland, like this.
Don't forget scarf.
Huh?
Don't forget scarf. Scarf.
Yeah, they do all this. Yeah, and they are good Medanga players, by the way. They go bam, 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 bam. But always when they speed up when many matages come together, I noticed. Oh boy, I could go for this. When I see this, I go, yeah, okay. Remembers me first time I saw a beautiful bhajan arriving maybe second time in Vrindavan. I mean, there are beautiful melodies this local sahajiyas are singing, The guy was incredible. He was, I was going, that's a nice melody. Then I look at him, and it was just Matajis, this old Matajis. And he was, I was going, hey, I know this from somewhere. And then I realized, after a very bhajan piece and beautiful melody, I was thinking his harmonium is on fire. No. He had a bidi cigarette stuck here. And he was always like this. And he was going, and the mother just went ecstasy. Was going, I know that. He remembered me, I used to once play in a band before I joined, keyboard. Once, then I gave up. Because the bass guitar player behind me, he had always this cigarette, this hashish stuck in a bass guitar. And because bass guitar is just one, so in between he was always like, and he stuck it again then. He remembered me when I saw this guy playing this harmonium. So it's like, do we have to do this in Krishna consciousness? Then go out there, get your best bass guitar, and do you think it's made for that? The girls will like it. Why not? You want that? Much more easier in the material world. To do this in the name of spiritual life, extremely sinful. We should not abuse the holy name. We should not use the holy name. We should serve the holy name. And how is the result of serving the holy name? Service. You know what the translation is of the Maha Mantra? My dear Krishna, please remove all the material obstacles from me so I can serve you purely. Hare, Hara is the material energy, and then comes Krishna Rama. So Krishna removes the material obstacles, and what will you do now? That's the question. I always feel, because I manage restaurant, it's like somebody coming in a restaurant ordering a meal. You're ordering, right? When they bring the meal, you go, what is this? You go, well, sorry sir, you ordered a meal. Nico, no, I'm just ordering. So all these ecstatic chanting sessions, they're just ordering, and when the real thing comes, no, they go home. I'm not saying it very good, sorry please, but but it sounds to me like that. He said, where's the result? What will happen after? Are we a holiday, holiday movement or what? Let's go in the Alps, we will rent a big hotel and we will sit there, Then we go home. If it's really around here, then serve around here, unconditionally. Anyway, this was the mood I was raised in. Sorry, and I'm not intending to change it. Rather, I feel like in my life, I have a long way to go before I come to that standard. But the beauty of Krishna consciousness is, even being born again, you will have that thing again. Krishna never forgets. I never forget. I just recently read this. How Prabhupada walks in the morning with Govinda Dasi and her husband. And Prabhupada, there was something special going on between him and Govinda Dasi. And Prabhupada goes, Govinda Dasi is the most expert secretary. She's expert in everything. There's only one problem. She's a Mataji. And Govinda Dasi was like, yeah, I know. And then Prabhupada looked at it and said, don't worry. Next lifetime you will be born like a brahmacharya and then you will be my servant very closely. And she was like, this was actually the mood. We didn't care for these bodies and all this stuff that you see today being taken so seriously. All the ISKCON problems I hear being discussed are based on bodily consciousness. There's nothing more to it. There's nothing more to it. If the bodies have tilak or 20 tilaks or I don't know, kavacha I don't care. But when you hear and when you go to the essence of these problems, it's always the bodily platform. And I don't want to go further to quote those people who, on the basis of their bodily consciousness, go even that far that they are putting Srila Prabhupada in a relative light or something like that. This is completely cutting the basis of Krishna consciousness. Because we are not this body. Hello. And that was like this 1968 and this is like this today. Same thing. So I don't see actually so much new things coming or so many new things or so many difficult things. This difficulty was always there. Somebody goes, here we have a center here, we are maintaining this. So many people coming from all Rijeka. What can we do to become more popular? Nothing, you just chant. And I tell you, 1968 was the same thing. We never had any other atmospheres, therefore I feel completely comfortable with that. I go, 10 people came, that's a lot. I never was impressed by masses. Yeah, if you want to see masses, you have to go to Russia and to India. Or what happened? I was 2 years preaching in Berlin. We had a packed Sunday feast. Small apartment, people they had to sit in a staircase like here, all the way up and down. We served prasadam in a staircase, they wouldn't fit inside. There was 2 brahmacharis preaching in Berlin, there were 120 guests on Sunday feast. The Sunday feast started, what was the time? Yeah, we started around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and ended up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Because Berlin people don't sleep, they live at night. So for them it was like, okay. Bhakti Bhushana Maharaj was there, just us two. So here a simple program, Kirtan, lecture, prasadam. Kirtan, lecture, prasadam. Kirtan, lecture, prasadam. And he'd turn it around until 4 o'clock in the morning, until there was only 10 people sitting there, or 5. That was the real ones. And we slept in the same place, we had no other facilities. So we only rolled our sleeping bags out and there were still 2 guys sitting there. And I remember Bhakti Bhushan was just lying in his sleeping bag and still preaching. This was the Berlin time, it was crazy. But from these 120 people, you could say safely, 3/4 were completely insane. But really insane people. You never saw in Rijeka anything like this. If anybody of our guests would walk in this kind of outfit and that kind of behavior in Rijeka, people will call police. Punk movement was on the top. My God. I was more physical, so I had to clean up sometimes. The last guy, he was actually didn't want to leave, he was lying there in a corner, he said, "I'll sleep here." I said, "No, you won't. This is a temple, this is not a sleeping station." He said, "No, shut up." And he just went to sleep. So I dragged him on his boots, on his leg, out of the door and kicked him down the stairs. That's how I finished the Sunday feast. That was our preaching in Berlin. 13 bhaktas in 1 year joined from that place. 13. All going on Sankirtan Buddhism. There was Bhakti Bhushan Maharaj, he was expert. So, this is so we have nowadays very cool and cultured atmosphere. A little bit too cool and cultured sometimes from what I knew. But they are happy, anybody coming. And we have also something we didn't have those times. We have more sane type of people coming around. Like I said, people who come more on the level of intelligence, not just because they want to eat something. We have examples of people joining which were unheard those days. We couldn't imagine someone like this can join even Krishna consciousness. We were so used to these drug cases and to this crazy, so we were thinking, how come... Nowadays we have that, what Prabhupada actually said, this is for respectable ladies and gentlemen. So that brings another level. It's not necessarily that they will be just joining some ashrama, and jumping on a street. But this is the people who are appreciating, seeing, and they can affect others coming from that level. Because I'm getting older, I like that. Even some of my godbrothers, I called Hare Krishna, at a certain point he said, "You know what? I hate hippies." Unpredictable, intoxicated, sinful, addicted to sinful. I mean, the one devotee told me, it's like a zoo we are managing here. I told him, that's an offense. And he said, "What do you mean offense?" I said, "This is a zoo. Because in zoo, everybody is caged in and it's a well-organized place. We are managing chaos here, unpredictable chaos." So, as a manager in Krishna consciousness, you get a good training. How to really expect the unexpected. I am so, sometimes I think, this is a little bit too much. I am so trained that sometimes I tell devotees try to surprise me with something horrible. Whatever comes in your mind, say it. I will tell you where it happened, how it happened, to whom it happened. I was there. Sorry. Except cannibalism, maybe now. We are vegetarians, Otherwise, it's difficult to surprise me with something. It's a good training. You get this material world staring in your face. People are living in their little domestic illusions. They think, no, it's happening maybe somewhere else, not here. No. The real face of material energy is quite graphic. Quite graphic. Maya is not nice. Even more so, you get fascinated when you see out of this hell coming people who are becoming such a nice devotees. That's a miracle. It's really amazing when you see this happen. Even I think, as we are sitting here, not all, I know approximately who is sitting here, so not all, but most of us, they shouldn't even sit here. According to our karma, we should be somewhere else. We should be some, in some kind of other forms, not in this. This is all Prabhupada's mercy. It's so beautiful. And I can mention it again, when I meet nowadays people who come to Krishna, it's not because of material misery, but because of understanding intelligently that this is a wonderful way to enhance your life, to improve your life, to ultimately maybe achieve even the supreme goal, to go back home, back to Godhead. It's wonderful to see that. So by the end of the day, after all these disasters I experienced in my life, yeah, I'm an optimist. But they say in Czech Republic, optimist is a well-informed pessimist. Prabhupada said something similar. He said, we expect the worst and hope for the best. You know. I just heard saying him this again in connection of the armies of the battlefield of Kurukshetra being estimated. That's the first thing we hear. Please, Krishna can drive me in front so I can see the strength of my opponents. And Prabhupada said, this is an intelligent approach. Prabhupada said, first we have to see all the bad and all the danger and all the potential trouble. Then we can come with some measurements to regulate and stop it. This is why the hippie movement collapsed. It was all about love and positive and peace, and it collapsed very fast. Why? Well, because it was based on drugs and illicit sex life. That's not peace, and that's not love. Sorry. So it collapsed very quickly. There were so many movements coming in the past, and they will become again. I was always laughing. After hippies came the rainbow movement, then came all kinds of movements. But it's the same thing. We had in Sweden a movement, straight edge, that was based on four regularity principles. Spontaneously, on their own, they came to that. I was going to the community preaching there. They were all like, no, this is sex life, no intoxication. And there was actually girls and boys. I was going, wow. And they invited us, of course, because they felt, hey, very closely affiliated. The only thing we did, we introduced the Maha Mantra. We made them to chant. It all fell apart. You know why? They started to make compromise. Suddenly it was not illicit sex life. It was only not good sex life when somebody doesn't like it. Don't be abusive. We have to both agree that it's going to be fun. And that's what it was going very fast. I met a Christian community which was inspired by an Indian guru in Germany. I was to Brahmacharya, it's many years ago. They invited me to the farm. When I came there, I said, wow, this is something even in ISKCON we didn't went that far. They had pictures, same thing. They had a room, sadhu room for the Guru Maharaj. They had everything there. The only problem is the man was a Mayavadi. And he was distributing secret individual mantras like that. But they like us. Please come. Otherwise, the brahmacharya, that's the real thing, brahmacharya. No higher taste. I remember I did several programs in that community, and that was in South Germany. You know how the last program ended? I was invited to come there, and I was going, we will have another program, chanting, prasadam, yeah, nice. And then I came in, and there's always a leader. One way or another, there is a leader. So the big guy, he was like the leader, and he said, I forgot to tell you, today we cannot have any program. You know, and he had a beer bottle in the hand. Germans. I was going, okay, it's no problem, yeah. What happened? He said, today Germany plays against Brazil football. No problem. They were all hanging on TV. You know, that was the end of that one. And soon after I heard it completely dissolved. So this is like when you start a temple, it sinks and compromise, and it will dissolve on its own. The problem is, and that what made Prabhupada very upset, and that's how I feel also sometimes really anger coming up, when deviated people start to make propaganda. That's upsetting. They try to convince others that what they did wrong is another dimension or whatever it is. Then Prabhupada got very, it happened in his presence too. Then Prabhupada got furious. He said, you can do your thing, write even your own book. Okay, everybody has freedom, it's a free world, Prabhupada. You can do that. But don't use Krishna for that. And don't present it like Krishna consciousness. So that's the challenge we have from the Lord. But ultimately, I tell you, it's also one mechanism there which is very powerful. The birds of the same feather flock together. There are people who will instinctively be drawn to the right thing, and there are people who will instinctively like to be cheated. They like that. It's easy. So then, and that choice I cannot change. We can only offer the real thing. And let's see who is taking. It commands a high level of detachment. Prabhupada demonstrated that too. He had his disciples leaving when he said, Krishna cannot stop you, what can I do? He's going. But you are welcome back again. Yeah? If you come back to the track. And it happened actually again. Prabhupada had to be so tolerant. Oh my God, what he had to take. So we should keep the line, just stay at the line. And the line Prabhupada gave is simple. Maybe not easy, but simple. Everybody can be on that line. What's the big deal? According to his, whatever we have. There's no place, there's no time in life one should leave Krishna consciousness. Why? Why? For what reason? Prabhupada demonstrated that. He was a family man, he had a job, he had responsibilities of a very mundane nature. Prabhupada said there was not 1 minute I forgot Krishna. And sometimes there are periods you just have to wait, going, okay, not that much happening, isn't it? And sometimes the door is opening and you can do more. I tell you quite frankly, I mean, right now, I never expected to be in Croatia again. I was here quite often, but that's some years ago. But I never expected to come back. It's much like I'm going, I don't know. But there's a door opening. Yeah, very nice. And I have the possibility, okay, in the archival of the vehicle. Yeah. And I find wonderful things. It's just wonderful. And what is missing? Yeah, I could come up with a whole list what is missing, but what's the use? It's missing. So let's see if it could be found somewhere, something of that. But just to walk around with the missing list, you know, what's the use of that? This program, everybody involved had to cook, had to prepare something, or to do something, cleaning. What is happening? It's happening. And nowadays, by internet, nobody can say, oh, sorry, I didn't know. That's the amazing thing about the internet, you know. You are informed. So this is your choice. You want to have a piece of it or not? Previously, people could say, oh, really? Oh, I missed it. I didn't know. Why didn't you call me? You know. Nowadays, it's just one click away and you know. Okay.